CX Summit EMEA broadcast from the beautiful Portugal. I'm Ronald van Loon, and today we'll have an exciting lineup of domain experts from the call center market. And we'll delve deep into the heart of delivering exceptional customer experiences, from the use of AI in automation, but also proactive problem solving and omnichannel type of solutions. Now we'll begin our journey with British Telecom, where we will discuss the transformative power of AI. And then we'll dive into a case study from Zendesk, where we'll demonstrate the impact of proactive customer service. And Nuveto will enlighten us to the importance of omnichannel solutions for seamless customer interaction. And we will wrap up with Invoca, exploring how they capture the digital journey of a customer from the beginning till the end. Now, buckle up as we set off on this enlightening journey to redefine customer experiences. Now follow me to the first speaker.
Still on premise.
Richard.
Hi.
Richard Atherton from
right.
BT.
Hi.
I loved your presentation today. You did a great presentation on stage at 5.9 CX Summit in EMEA here.
Yeah.
I really loved it, and I love the part how you treat AI in BT and how you implement it.
Yeah.
But maybe you can explain and share your story again. Sorry, we didn't record it this afternoon,
Yeah.
but if you can share it again for our watchers as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you can give an overview initially what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, my name's Richard Atherton, as you know from the presentation, so I'm responsible for all of BT's cloud contact products. So we supply cloud contact products across the globe to multinational corporations. So the AI, as I mentioned earlier on today, has become really, really important. Now, I think one of the things that we touched on earlier today is, it's not easy to introduce AI into an organization. So for years, traditionally BT has been the carrier bringing voice all over the globe to these organizations. But the new task that they've given us is, okay, how are you going to transform this using AI? Yeah? Now, interestingly, with the technology that AI is great, but it doesn't work without a good source of data. But it also means we need to have a good understanding of the business requirements behind that. So I'll give you an example. So one of the companies we dealt with, we looked at their requirements. We said, do you have anything that we can move into AI? And they gave us a use case. We worked for months and months refining that use case, building a database, fine-tuning it, and it basically handled about 5, 6, 7% of their calls. Now that's a lot of work.
About this use case, was this the one that had most potential from technical perspective or from business perspective?
Technical.
Perspective.
And that's the difference, right?
Okay.
So, and it takes a long time to get to that position, and it's only really affecting 6% of the calls. So what we learned from that is you actually need to use the AI not from a technology point of view, but you really got to look at the business. Now, what we've learned today and what we've seen from the market, which is a big difference, it's a game changer, is that AI can be used to assess the entire business before you take that step. And what that means is instead of addressing 6% of the calls, you can use the natural language processing to say, okay, there are 60% of the calls which according to our AI analytics tools can actually be automated. Now what a difference that makes. So you go from 6% to 60%, and then you can start tuning that AI to really transform a business, not just tweak it a little bit, but really start to transform it. That's the key difference.
And the steps that you took from this analysis, can you deep dive a little bit in that?
Yeah, so imagine if you take a static use case from a customer, a customer says, this is the use case we want to try with AI, we take that, our engineers build that into an AI system, and then we start to fine tune it, so it's almost like a back and forward process, But if you take that first step, and instead of doing it manually, you actually use an AI system that says, okay, we're analyzing all of the calls, and we can see that instead of, it actually picks the use cases for you. It says all these calls, which are being abandoned, or for example, losing customers, we can start to automate these and actually answer them far quicker using AI, And that's something that, a static manual use case may miss, and that's a big difference.
And that's a game changer.
It's a game changer, and we've seen it today. We've seen AI insights tools, for example. We've seen that from 5.9. We've seen other suppliers. That's where they're targeting now, and that's a game changer.
And can you explain the steps? How did you start? How did you implement the first process, the first data that you collected, analyze, define the algorithms, do the training?
Well, yeah, it's a long process, But the great thing is when you use these AI insights tools, it starts to take away those initial steps. Yeah, you can imagine the fine tuning is not just a one-off process. Yeah, because these companies that we're dealing with, they're constantly changing over time. So we need almost a team of engineers who are constantly tweaking that AI, just as they would train agents, for example, to use technology to answer calls. Yeah, so that AI is actually taking that role. So it's not just replacing the agents themselves, it's actually replacing some of the engineering tasks. So it saves us money as the service provider, but it saves the customer as well. Yeah, that's the thing that's really started to startle us, to really make us take notice. Yeah.
And this case, can you describe the case? Because I'm very curious, what exact case did you take and the steps that you took?
Yeah, sure. So the case that we took, this is with an engineering company, yeah, who manufacture very large engines, yeah, and they're used all over the world. And we took initially about 5% of their calls. So these were very, very niche calls with a specific problem, yeah, which seemed very simple, and that could be automated through AI. So we use technology to actually transform that information and automate it. Yeah. So that was the 6%. Yeah?
Okay.
So imagine you take that and you start to transform the human interaction, and you start to turn that into a natural language model. The natural language model starts to get tuned until the language is almost exactly the same as if it was used by a human agent. Yeah? Now, when you take the AI and you actually start to use that to analyze all of the calls which are actually going in, so it listens to all of the calls, it listens to the interactions between humans, the agents and the customers, and it says, actually, this was the conversation, this was the outcome. We could achieve the same outcome faster using AI. Yeah? And that's exactly what we start to transform.
And did you use AI for speech? Or
yeah. So they use the AI to analyze that speech.
Just to analyze, or also because you said to replace some agents,
yeah.
So you replace them by speech or just by the analysis?
Natural language speech.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the goal. The whole goal is to replace agents with the natural language speech.
And that was the first step that you took, and what were the results from this? What was the experience from the end user, yeah. And what was the business results for BT?
Yeah, I mean the business results for us is that we need kind of, the more that the AI takes over the engineering time, the more effective it is. It's almost like a snowball effect, yeah? If we could use the AI to replace the engineering time for BT, then it means we can scale up much quicker, yeah? And for our customers, it means they can replace agents with AI, which is it's more cost effective, and they can scale as well. Yeah.
And I know you use, at least you mentioned in your keynote, you use AI in different kind of areas, and you work together with students from the University of Groningen. Yeah. I'm Dutch, you're living in the Netherlands, yeah. So that really
So yeah, you can pronounce Groningen.
Yeah, Groningen.
Yeah, that's the most difficult thing, is people pronouncing that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. This is a potential case, and it's all about sustainability. So what we're doing with the University of Groningen is we're working with the data science faculty there, and we have students who are studying data science. So these are graduates, and they're doing their master's thesis, and they're really interested in measuring what the carbon footprint of the cloud is, yeah? Which is, when you start to look at how much is involved in that cloud, it becomes really, really difficult. How much data you actually have to collect and analyze in order to basically apportion a carbon footprint to a company that says, okay, you're using the cloud, you used to use your own data center, now you're consuming the same thing from the cloud, what is your carbon footprint? So if you can imagine, you need to get data for server usage, you need to get data for the server manufacture, the server transportation, the cooling in the data center, the lighting, the human interaction in the data center. It's a really,
so
really
many
tricky
aspects.
Yeah, and all of that data is being collected. And the data science students, they're starting to analyze this, and they're saying, okay, when you put all that together, this is the carbon footprint associated with someone using the cloud. Now, as you can imagine, one of the first things that they've started to realize is, okay, this is a really difficult manual process. And data scientists, as you know, that the first thing that they're going to do is how can we automate this?
Yeah.
AI is the obvious answer. Yeah? So they're starting to look at AI models to say, okay, is there a way that we can start to measure this on a big scale? And the reason why it's so important, every company that's here are going to have to start reporting their carbon footprint. But it starts with the measurement, the accurate measurement. And data scientists are the ones that are really going to make it honest, make it measurable, but they're not going to be able to do that on their own. AI is going to have to come in and help them.
And many executives have it on their list, but they don't have the path to measure all the data and to collect it.
It's all based on estimates. It's really basic spreadsheets and estimates. Yeah, but it's going to take AI, it's going to take the data science students to really make it honest. And it's only when you get to that really honest, complete measurement that you can start to reduce it. Yeah. So I think that's one of the most exciting cases that we've got. It's also one of the trickiest.
And where are you now in the process?
We've got to the process where we manually have collected that data. So we're literally at the process where the data science students who are writing, equations which are way beyond my understanding to analyze that data and to apportion it. Yeah? We started to say, okay, we're not going to be able to do this at scale. AI is going to have to come in, and we're going to start using help on this. Yeah? And that for us is a really exciting case, because just like the case we said before, yeah, it allows you to scale quicker. Yeah?
Great case, I really love it. And we're here at 5.9 CX Summit, EMEA.
Yeah.
What exactly are you doing now with 5.9, and where are you in the process of implementing all these new AI capabilities?
So we've just started a partnership with 5.9, so we're here to basically announce that partnership. We've already been working together with 5.9 for a couple of years, setting up voice networks for their contact center customers, and we're going to be reselling their contact center capability and their AI capability now. And you can imagine BT as a legacy customer has lots and lots of the voice contact center market. Yeah? So the partnership with 5.9 is all about, how do we transform that from a voice-based contact center into an AI contact center. So it comes back to those models that we talked about.
And the data the existing data that you have can be used to train the model?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes it very interesting.
Yeah. It's collecting that data, it's storing the data, and it's also knowing what to do with it. Yeah.
Richard, thanks again. I really love your story. I know for sure that my audience loves your story as well. It was great to seeing you again.
Yeah, you too.
And look forward to your next keynote, maybe next year.
Yeah, who knows?
Thanks.
Right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, Ron, how are you doing?
Christian Abel from Zendesk.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm very well. I loved your story about not the car troubles that you had, but I love the story from the experience that you had. And I thought I want to share this story with my audience today.
Right.
So let's put it on camera.
Sure.
But can you share it again, what we discussed this morning?
Yeah, of course. It's actually a disaster story that turned out well.
Yeah.
Beautiful's happening. My grandmother's 90th birthday. I wanted to rent a car from a car sharing company, one of the big providers. Got the car, started driving, and on the way to the location, I got this big red warning light in the car saying, engine failure immediate, please stop the car immediately. Yeah. So if it's not your car, you get a little bit nervous when you get this message. So I was like, okay, fair enough, stop somewhere quickly. And I knew there was a big problem coming in my way, so I was reaching my phone, calling customer service, expecting a long time to wait, saying like, this is going to be a long journey for the future. So I called them up and I said, as I said, expecting at least half an hour of waiting. They picked up the phone after a couple of minutes, said like, oh yeah, we already know you have a warning in your car about an engine failure, and we are already looking into a solution. So what we're trying to figure out is if we can send a mechanic your way, or if we have to find a different solution. Give us a couple of minutes, we will call you back. Just stay calm for the moment. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, if a customer service agent tells you we're going to call you back in a couple of minutes, it normally takes half an hour at least. Yeah, so I will get a drink. But they actually called me back after 3 minutes and said, okay, we talked to the mechanics, we talked to the solution providers. You're allowed to drive the car back to the next car. We're going to send you the location on your phone where it's actually positioned. We will refund you the money, which you already booked for, right, the next couple of days. And we will give you a little discount. Yeah, so you can actually, for your trouble that you had. Got a message on my phone a couple of minutes later with the new location, went to the other car, picked it up, went to my grandmother's birthday, had a great weekend with my family.
Yeah, and the great thing about this story, what I thought is the performance really exceeded your expectations, and that means you're happy. You have a great experience and you become a happy customer, but for you it went even further. you became an employee of Zendesk.
Yeah, that's the best part about it. Actually, I didn't know they were a customer.
No, tell me about what's behind, let's say, behind the scenes, what's happening. So your story is a great customer experience story, not from, let's say, what happened to you, but how they solved it.
Yeah.
And what happened behind the scenes with all the systems, all the steps, the data that's moved from one place to the other. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you need to have a connection from the monitoring system with the car to the customer support system, so that they actually can know what's happening if there is a problem like this. Yeah. Then before that, they already recognized my number as my personal data to call within that segment. And they also had the connection to the booking system, the data of my bank account, to make sure that I get the refund of my account, and also provided me with the right email to get the messaging location for the car. So they also had a GPS system in place, knowing where I am and where I need to go.
And you work now with Zendesk.
Yes.
So what are typical type of challenges that clients are facing to get this working? From data, from, let's say, analysis, from connecting the different type of systems. What are typical type of issues there?
Yeah, I think that's the main problem is that normally there are so many different systems in place that work completely independently from each other. Yeah, and so the challenge is, how do we combine those systems, make sure they are not only connected but visible in one workspace, like Zendesk provides. Yeah, so the agent actually has access to all the systems and can provide the best information possible for the right moment.
So if you look, this company was very proactive in solving problems, or basically preventing the next problem. So how were they able in doing what was happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think what it showed, and that's why I'm such a big fan of the company now, is they prepared for this event. They had an escalation process in place. So they knew if engine failure happens, that's not the best scenario for a car sharing company. When that happens, they need to be in contact with the mechanics team. They need to have the booking system in place and automatically look up the next location car and provide me with all that information at the same time.
Correct. And now we have seen several presentations today about large language models, ChatGPT, AI automation. What kind of steps can we expect, probably from Zendesk and from other suppliers, to improve the customer experience?
I think with this example, of course, it's quite an advanced system, but we don't see this everywhere. So I think the first step would be introducing, and this is what I love today about the presentations, the IVA, the Intelligent Virtual Agent, to actually guide the customer to the right process, to the right agent, to find the right solution at the end.
That's the first step that's going to happen. Great. Yeah. Thanks a lot. I loved your story. As I said, not from what happened to you, but how they solved it, and it's a great customer experience. And I think in a year's time, we will be even more amazed with the help of it.
Let's see where we're going to be in a year's time. Thanks. Pleasure to meet you.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Tom Brennan.
Marcus, how are you?
Hey Ronald.
Marcus Moraes from
Nice
Nuveto.
to see you again.
Good to see you again. I was really inspired today when we spoke about your fluid experiences, how you provide them to customers. And I thought, okay, I need to share this with my audience, with my follower base.
Excellent, great.
Sorry, but maybe you can tell your story again and share how you help end users getting fluid experiences.
Well, basically, we started our journey with Five9 8 years ago. We became one of their main partners worldwide. Amazing experience. They have a great solution, but we felt that we could complement their solution with some, specific requirements. And 2 years ago, we came up with this framework to integrate Five9 with basically every single digital media outlet that is in the market, and we can integrate with any specific company. What we do, we transform Five9 into a real omnichannel solution. That means that a customer can start interacting with Five9 through different channels like Twitter, move to Instagram, to WhatsApp. The agent will get only one single information about their interaction, and the agent can proactively start interacting with the customer. And the interesting point is that it can start on, for example, on a WhatsApp channel, and then move to a Facebook page or to a website, or start a video call with the agent. So in one single interaction, the agent will have a full or 360 vision of the relationship with the customer, which is great because it makes the journey for the customer, completely fluid.
Let me share a challenge. I'm a social media influencer. I have 420,000 followers on 7 different channels. Some channels have 3 or 4 different messaging systems. I have email, I have SMS, I have WhatsApp. Now, my challenge, and I think this challenge is for basically any enterprise, because any enterprise has all these different channels as well, maybe even more. I have even more as well, because I have, for my company, I can even double it. So the biggest challenge is you start communicating with the person. First is, how do you detect that this person, who it is? And how can you connect it with another channel? So he connects with you via Facebook, then via Twitter, then via LinkedIn, then via email. How can you detect the person? Then once you detect him, how can you continue the conversation and have a fluid experience between all these different channels? Because they don't care whether they message you via WhatsApp, then they are on Twitter, then they send you a direct message via LinkedIn. Tell me your stories, which you did this afternoon as well, how you can solve these type of challenges.
First, this is a great question. It's very simple. The customer, at certain point, he's gonna get to the company channel through the company, either LinkedIn account or Facebook account or Twitter account. So we're gonna map that customer by one single reference, because he's gonna start providing one single reference. And we are gonna use that same reference when he moves along the other channels. The algorithm within our application will understand the single component of that interaction, and will put all the information together in one single database or interaction database. And that is gonna pass that information, integrate that information with the Five9 component, which has also the customer information. So the agent, when he sees it, he's gonna, regardless the way the customer is entering, because the customer enters into the official component of the account of the customer, he's gonna find their interaction and gonna capture the interaction and summarize easily to the agent.
And let's say I'm the agent, I'm the social media influence, people talk to me. How can I stay up to date from what they communicate via each channel, and I can continue the conversation? So each message you track, and how do you support me that I don't make the mistake that I talk to a person on WhatsApp, then I forget after a month because I talk to more than 300-400 people per day. How do you support me?
Well, all the information, all the interactions are stored in one single point. Mm-hmm. So the agent has a complete view. He's not going to forget. You might forget, but the agent will not, because that's his job. So he's going to capture that information, but his knowledge, the process inside the company, and he's going to interface with you. And that's the beauty of the solution, because instead of you having to repeat to the company over and over again your problem, or even if you forget, the agent, which represents the company, will have all that information, and he proactively will keep contact with you regardless, again, the way you contact the company. And again, he's going to ask you, what is the preferred channel you want to talk to me? You want to have a video call? You want to have a phone call? You want to chat on WhatsApp? The agent will flow from one side to another without losing the interaction, because again, that is all storage all together. He has a full view of all the interactions with different channels, and he's going to flow that one until the end of the conversation, the end of, or the resolution of the point that he was looking into the company. So very easily. We have like over 100 customers using our solution. It adds a lot of value. and we are very happy that the customers see as a very strategic component of their interaction with their customers.
And we have seen Jonathan Rosenberg today, the CTO from Five9, on stage, and he was talking about large language models and how they can help with summarizing the data, even helping, let's say, translating when needed. What is your view on this? How is those going to provide even better experiences to the end user?
Well, first, that is the future. You know, that's how customers are going to start interacting with company, again, through different channels. The way we capture that, we summarize to the agent, that brings velocity, brings more accuracy into how the agent will react to that interaction and respond to exactly point that the customer is looking for an answer. I think that's going to grow. We're seeing a trend in the market that the new generation is coming through these different channels. That is very important that companies like Five9 and we as a partner of Five9 bringing some additional solutions, understand that trend and help them to build the solution that will facilitate this move into the next step, which is supporting the customer no matter how they want to talk to the company.
For fluid, digital, and online and offline experience. Marcus, thanks again for sharing your story. I go to the next booth.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you next time.
The best here.
Brent Birchfield, how are you?
Good, how are you?
From Invoca.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You were talking about the story for marketing attribution this afternoon, and it's so important that you know when you're, let's say, surfing, or at least from a company perspective, you spend tons of money in your marketing campaigns, and most of the companies don't even know whether somebody converts via another channel.
Right.
Can you explain the challenge that you see in the market and see how you solve it?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's spending so much time focusing on the digital journey that a consumer goes through, and there's plenty of analytics tools associated with, whether or not a customer, engages with a brand or converts with a brand online. But what tends to happen is that the trail goes cold when a consumer picks up the phone and calls in. And that's where we come in. So the ability to actually say they didn't leave your brand, they actually continue to engage with your brand even further because it's a high considered purchase and they wanted to call and talk to someone directly about that. And so that's where Invoca comes in. We're able to capture the fact that they did engage with the brand online, they just opted to call, and we feed that back into the marketing engine to be able to optimize and prioritize those campaigns and keywords that are leading to new conversions and new customers.
And if companies don't do it, they think it's a call conversion.
Interested.
Yeah.
They express some interest, but they change their mind.
Or the conversion is attributed to the wrong channel.
Right, exactly. And so that's where Invoca is able to kind of provide a complete picture. And obviously while we're here, at this event, customer experience is the name of the game. And what we've essentially created is a diffusion of customer frustration instead. So how many times have you called into a contact center and they don't know who you are, they don't know why you're calling, they have no idea if you're an existing customer or not. With Invoca Presense, we're able to capture all of that digital journey and feed that directly into the agent.
And you say Presense means it detects some kind of intent?
Right, so we watch the entire digital trail and journey that an individual consumer went through at a one-to-one session level. So that way when the agent picks up the phone and answers the phone, they know that it's you calling, they know if you're an existing customer, they know why you're calling, and you decrease a lot of that customer frustration. How many times have you called in and they don't know who you are and they don't know why you're calling? We were able to capture that with Presense. Maybe it's something as simple as just trying to reset your password, or maybe you're looking to buy a new product. And that's really important for brands that are trying to organically grow their customer base.
But any experience is important.
Of course.
It's not only the sales one.
And it's also an agent experience component as well, right? Like agents get frustrated having to deal with customers that are frustrated, and we kind of have an impact on both sides of it.
Great. Now, if we look to basically the whole space, where do you excel compared to other type of solutions in the market? So is it to the attribution from all the channels, or are there other parts where that is important?
Yeah, so as far as Invoca as a company, where we excel is being able to tie the offline to the online.
the Invoca pre-send solution that we specifically have developed for 5.9 hasn't existed in the market. And so in partnership with 5.9, and that's why we're here in Porto, is that the 5.9 leadership and our team, we recognize that there's a market gap there to fill that can create a much better customer experience by being able to feed that information into the agent or the IVA as well. We can inform the IVA what the customer is looking at on the digital side.
Fluent experiences and bring back the joy for the end user. That's what we heard today.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to help the world with.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for the time.
Thanks. See you.
Take care.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey today at the 5.9 CX Summit in EMEA. We have heard some incredible insightful discussions on the future of the call center market from British Telecom, their exploration of AI in automation, but also Zendesk, this heartwarming account of productivity in customer service, or Nuveto's revolutionary omnichannel solution for seamless customer interactions, up to Invoca's unique approach to capturing the customer digital journey from the beginning till the end. We've learned about the transformative power of technology and the importance of understanding and addressing the customer needs and do that proactively. Now, as we conclude, let's carry forward the insights and the wisdom shared by our esteemed speakers. And to the audience, thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you next time.